The state of Florida, which has been solidly under Republican control for 27 years now, is one of the few states that has agreed to absolutely not just cooperate with Donald Trump's mass deportation plans. They've put it on steroids down here in Florida, right? We'll use our own people to start rounding these folks up and y'all can just come and get them. So we're taking Donald Trump's mass deportations and taking it to the next level. But that creates a big problem down here in Florida that the Republicans, I don't know if they didn't anticipate it or they didn't care about it, but we have a massive labor shortage. We don't have people to go out there and build new houses. We don't have people to go out there and pick the crops. I don't know if y'all realize this, but Florida actually has lots of farmland. We are not the top, but we are one of the top produce producing states here in the U.S., including potatoes, by the way. Very good Florida potatoes. And of course, the citrus crops, all of that. We need, and the hospitality industry, my God, that's our biggest industry. We need these migrants to come in and do these jobs. And it's not that, oh, we don't have Americans willing to do them. It's that we literally don't have enough people to do them. And Republicans are shipping all the workers out. But don't worry, because this week they came up with a plan, right? Okay, we've kind of shipped all our laborers out. We don't know what to do. Industry's freaking out and threatening to not give us money anymore. How do we get workers? I know. Let's get the friggin' kids. And that is what they're doing. Florida Republicans have pushed through a new piece of legislation this week that would further loosen child labor laws that they loosened about a year or two ago to allow children up to the age of 14, or down to, I should say, the age of 14, to work overnight on school nights. No limit on the amount of hours. Doesn't matter that you got to wake up at 6 a.m. and get ready for school that starts at 7:15 a.m. And I know that because my children have to go to school at 7:15 a.m. That's when the first class starts. But yeah, let's make them work. Let's make 8th graders work overnight shifts cleaning hotel rooms. That's their solution to the labor shortage. Let's have the kids do it. Let me read you this. The state's legislature on Tuesday advanced a bill that would loosen child labor laws, allowing children as young as 14 years old to work overnight shifts. If the new law is passed, teenagers would be able to work overnight jobs on school days. They are currently prevented from working earlier than 6:30 a.m. or later than 11 p.m. per state law. The bill passed through Florida's Senate's Commerce and Tourism Committee on Tuesday with 5 votes in favor and 4 votes against. The bill will pass through 2 other relevant committees before being put to a vote with the full Florida Senate. And here's what Ron DeSantis, who clearly supports the legislation, had to say about it. Why do we say we need to import foreigners, even import them illegally when, teenagers used to work at these resorts? College students should be able to do this stuff. College students already are. Okay? They're 17, 18 years old. There's no more restrictions other than, the serving of alcohol, depending on where you are in the state. They can do that, and they do that. We're not talking about college kids. We are literally talking about middle schoolers who turn 14 years old in 8th grade, and you're wanting them to work overnight? My daughter just turned 14 a month ago. She is in 8th grade. And under this new law, my daughter would be able to go work overnight at a resort, at a hotel, possibly doing construction. These people are insane. They're crazy. They're all crazy. They're crazy people. And DeSantis goes even further. This is even worse. Here's what he says. Yes, we had people that left because of the rules that said if you've got more than 25 people, you have to check their immigration status. But you've also been able to hire other people. And what's wrong with expecting our young people to be working part-time now? I mean, that's how it used to be when I was growing up. Let me tell you a fun fact, Ron DeSantis. You're only 4 years older than me. And because I know the way that labor laws exist here in the state of Florida. I know when they were passed. I know when they were changed. I know all of that. You and I, both when we turned 15, granted you did 4 years earlier than I did, we were able to work the same type of hours, which, by the way, are the same hours that are currently on the books today. You came up with those same labor laws. So for you to sit there and say, when I was a kid, we used to do... No, you didn't. No, you did not, because the laws hadn't changed. You are a filthy friggin' liar. And it pisses me off that I have to be the one to sit here and call you on that when the rest of the media should have already done it. You're a god dang liar, because you and I came of age in Florida around the same time. We're able to work at the same time under the same child labor laws. But here's another thing that most people do not realize. In most areas of the country, workers under the age of 16 years old, actually sometimes even 16-year-olds, employers are allowed to actually pay them below minimum wage. Most of the time, it only covers the first 90 days of their employment. But if you take a 16-year-old who's going to work a summer job, June, July, and half of August at a resort, right? Which happens everywhere across the state of Florida. For the entirety of their seasonal employment, because it's below 90 days, they can make below minimum wage. So you're not just saying, let's bring in the children. You're wanting to bring in the children as effectively, low wage, borderline slave labor for massive corporations here in the state of Florida. That's what you guys want. That's what Republicans are pushing. And that's what this legislation that will pass is going to do. And I say it will pass because, again, 27 straight years of pure Republican rule in this state. The Democrats don't have a voice in our state legislature. This will pass. And I can promise you, we will see horrific things happen to these children, because it's not just the resorts. It'll be construction. It'll be farm work. There will be heat strokes. There will be industrial accidents. There will be all sorts of horrible things. Do you know how I know that? Because Florida has already seen the number of child labor law violations and injuries roughly triple over the last couple years. It's coming. It will happen. And Florida will be worse off for it. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.